Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, the car that I have for you is the flagship SUV from Mazda. This is the 2025 Mazda CX-90, and today I'm going to show you everything about this car. And I want to thanks to Prima Mazda for providing this vehicle to me, and thanks to Art for arranging this car for me. So today we're mainly focusing on the CX-90. But as you guys know, the CX-90 and the CX-70 look pretty similar. The car that's behind me, that is the CX-70. So now let's get to the history of the car, where I can explain everything about Mazda and their latest models. Mazda. Mazda is a Japanese manufacturer that are building cars more than 100 years. Their company was founded at 1920, but they didn't make cars from 1920. They started building cars from 1931. So what did they do for 11 years? They used to build and make sky-active engines that used to be in other cars. But when they started to doing their own business by making their own cars, they got really good demands. The first model of the Mazda vehicle came in 1931. Amazing car, amazing design, and everyone loved it. Because Mazda is always techy, nice looking, and fun to drive, and reliable as well. So it's pretty much Honda, but it has tech instead of just performance. Mazda is a company that are building cars more than a decade, like I said. But 2024, every manufacturer is struggling because the market is really hard to compete with. So this is the flagship SUV. America, North America, very high demands of big SUVs. And then it's the Middle East, obviously. But high demanding SUVs doesn't mean it's going to be selling every single car. The CX-90 is the flagship, so it needs the amount of tech, features, and performance like the other cars get. The competitor of the CX-90 is the Toyota Grand Highlander, the Nissan Pathfinder, and the Honda Pilot. But if we go outside Japan, it is the Kia Telluride and the Hyundai Palisade. So now let's come back to Mazda, because whatever they do, they were always popular for their techie features, nice looking, good build quality, and a punchy engine. So let's get started with this car. A lot of people are confused between the CX-90 and the CX-70. So this is the 90, that's the 70. This is the flagship because it's a 7-seater, and that's a 5-seater model. That's why it's not the flagship. So pretty much difference are in the front. That's pretty much it. But that's just the 5-seater, this is just a 6-seater. Instead of putting that option, they made different models. So 90 and 70, but there's no 80 in the middle. Let's get inside, but before that, let me show you the key. Like I said, Mazda build quality on top. You have the Mazda logo on the top. Then you have your lock, unlock, trunk opening, and remote start. When you unlock the car, the lights do turn on, and the lights are pretty similar with the CX-70. That makes production costs go a little lower. That's good for the company. Let's get inside. Foot on the brake, pressing the start button. There, the car turns on. So this is with the full lights hazard. This is with the high beam. This is without the high beam. Now let's come outside for showing you guys the headlights. If you guys see it, but the hazards are a little different from other manufacturer, but it's Mazda. The hazards are not broken. It's just a different design. So as American and North American vehicle, you get these side reflectors, but Mazda decided to put it in here instead of the fenders. You have the daytime running lights with all of the chrome accents, and then you have the hazards here with the chrome that all the way extends till the front. The front grille is pretty nice, and it is open. You have parking sensors, you have the front camera below the Mazda logo, and you have the radar on the Mazda logo as well. Bottom section is pretty cool. You have opening here, you have opening here, that grille opens and closes. You have the front number plate slot here. It's pretty good looking from the front end, being absolutely honest. To be honest, a lot of people don't spot the difference between the CX-90 and the 70. But if you look at the front end, this is the top trim, that is the sport trim. That's why it has a bit of difference. But it's overall, you can notice the difference in the lower bumper area. But in my opinion, if I had to spend $70,000 on a car, it would be the CX-90, not the 70, because the 7-seater, $70,000 is a good one. Now let me show you the car's engine, but before that, let's talk about some safety. Lane keeping assist is standard on all cars, like I know, and like I saw, but your automatic braking assist, your all of that features are obviously controlled by that camera. But if you want to get optional extra stuff like lane departure assist and other models and other features, you can get that optional extra. But overall, the front of this car looks incredible. Now let's see what is the powertrain and what are the different engines Mazda's providing for the CX-90 and the CX-70. So the Mazda CX-90. The Mazda CX-90 gets 3 different engines. The first one is the smallest one, that's a 2.5 liter plug-in hybrid. Then it's the 3.3 liter mild hybrid. Then it's this, the 3.3 liter turbocharged inline-6 non-hybrid. 3 different engine variants is more than enough choices for people that want plug-in hybrid, mild hybrid, or you want a turbocharged non-hybrid car. Depends on you. All of the car's engines get with automatic transmission. That's lovely. With that automatic transmission, all of the power goes to the 4 of the wheels for all of the models. The car is producing 370 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. The most amount of power to the competitors, because the Honda Pilot has a 3.5, the Grand Highlander has a 2.5, and the Korean manufacturers has a 3.32. But this is punching out the most amount of power. Like I said, performance and tech together. It's not Honda that it's just performance, it's Mazda. Performance and tech both together. I'm not complaining about anything, I'm just saying which one's the better model and which one's the better car for you to buy for $70,000. That's a lot of money. One thing I would say on this car is I have a bit of a problem with CVT transmission that Mazda doesn't have in their any cars. CVT transmission shouldn't belong in a 4-wheel drive SUV. It's okay in a front-wheel drive car, it's okay in a hybrid car, but not in a 4-wheel drive car. Now, let me show you the car's side profile. So now we are at the side profile of the car. Don't get me wrong, this is a very long ass car, so it actually looks pretty nice. Now let's come to the car's wheels. The wheels on these cars are in silver. It actually matches the exterior color. The front wheels are 275 45 R21s. You have 6-piston brakes at the front. The thickness of the front disc are 13.7 inches. You have double whistle suspension with coil springs. You have a very nice side grilling area that says Inline-6. Pretty good looking, but you have plastic treatments. But Mazda did a cool thing. They had chrome there, chrome on the window trims, silver roof rails, and they had chrome right here that says Mazda here. So it doesn't look as cheap as a normal plastic stuff would look. But the rear wheels are pretty much same as the front. The only difference is the rear brakes are a little more thicker than the front, 13.8 inches with muzzling suspension and coil springs. If the car is unlocked, the car has keyless entry. You can open the fuel tank by just tapping on it, and then you can fill up your fuel tank. It's not capless, but you can just open this and then fill it up. Mazda should have added capless. Let's close that. The side is actually quite good looking in my opinion. The rear is a little controversial, but I would say it's okay looking rear end. Let's get inside, let's turn these tail lights on. Tail lights are LED and the hazards are just a bit different from other manufacturers. Foot on the brake, pressing the start button. So this is with the full lights, this is with the hazard, this is with the reverse. And if I just come and put it back to park, I can show you the rear end. The tail lights are wraparound, so you have the reflectors on the side. And then you have the full LED tail lights with the hazard CX-90 all-wheel drive, and all the way continues till here. Then you have the Mazda logo. And then you have the rear tail lights on the other side. eSky Active G written here. And then if you look at the upper section, you have a spoiler, the extended spoiler with a upper stop brake light, very small shark fin antenna, rear windshield wiper. If you come down, plastic treatment with the chrome helps a lot. You have parking sensors at the back and reflectors. Overall, not bad. You have the reversing camera here with 2 number plate slot lights and a very soft button for opening the rear power tailgate. As I said, this is a 7-seater vehicle. That's why it has 300 liters of storage when the seats are up, and it has 500 liters of storage when the seats are down. If you get this up, you just have your tire repair kits. So you have the things for opening your tire. And if I close this, you have a charging socket there, and over this side, you have a light placement. If you don't need that much storage and you need space for people to sit, you can just get this up. There we go, get the headrest up, and you have to do the same for this side. There, there. It's a 7-seater, fully functional. And for closing the boot, you just press this button and it automatically closes. Now, let's get inside the CX-90. Now let's get inside the rear of the CX-90. But before that, you can actually see the CX-9 beside us, but this is way more bigger than the previous generation. So let's get inside and show you how big it is. So at the center row, you have enough knee room, enough headroom. You can enjoy the panoramic sunroof, but it's a bit small in my opinion. But overall, the seats are comfy. Full leather with a goldus accent. You have isofix anchor points. You have your handrest here for more comfortable sitting, and you have cup holders if you need them. Or if you don't, it folds away. You have a 4-zone climate control at the back as well, but this is off right now. But you have heating seats for the back too with 2 USB-C types, and you have rear AC vents. Pretty comfortable. You have pedal blockers as well. But let's get inside the third row because that's one main thing. So let's come here. The mats are a little slippy because it has the thing for the shiny thing, so that's why I'm slipping a bit. But the entry point, the door opens pretty wide. Getting inside shouldn't be a hassle. So let's get inside. Here we do. Sitting behind my own self, it would be a little struggle for me, and come on, this is not a MPV. You have to struggle a bit. But if the front passenger compromises a bit, then someone can sit here for like a short drive. Headroom is enough. Knee room's like this much, but it's comfortable. You have cup holders, you have USB-C types, you have speakers behind your head, so you can listen to that music from this Bose sound system. But now let's get inside the front again. Coming out and getting inside isn't that hard, but the mats are a little slippy, that's why it is. Let's get the seat back, and now let's come to the door. The doors are pretty nice as well. You have peasant blockers like I mentioned, and it's manual. Sorry, my bad. There we go. You have the nice trim with the matte goldish. You have the door handle, window openers with the leather with the gold stitching all the way here. Speaker, and you have your bottle holder with decent amount of room. Now let's get inside the car's front. So now we are at the front seat of the car. I would say the dash looks pretty good. You have a nice looking dash with a big screen, and it's overall nice. You have the airbag here with the leather and the gold stitching. You have the AC vent that has gold in it too. You have a lockable glove box that's here, pretty nice. And then the floor mats also say CX-90. And then the seats are very comfortable. It is heated and ventilated. It's nice. The car has a panoramic roof, but the front portion opens up. It's not a big panoramic roof, to be honest. I think the Honda Pilot has a bigger panoramic roof than this, and it doesn't even open that wide. There's no way someone can stand there. I mean, it's illegal to do that too. You can close the cover with a button too. Overall, it's pretty good looking. You have nice leather treatment all around. It's pretty nice. Let's come to this section. This is a complete trimmed out section, but you have your cup holders here. It's a very big storage area too. But you have a cup holders here. You have your volume knob, favorite, your shortcuts, your parking brake and brake hold. You have the gear knob. The gear knob is a bit different for putting it into gear. You have to press this. That's for drive. That's for neutral. This is for reverse. And if you want to put it in park, you have to press this and bring it here. This is for the car's drive modes, and then you have a wireless charger with a USB. Pretty good, pretty nice. If I show you the exterior cameras, I can just turn that on and that completely turns on from there. That's the front, that's for the sides. Pretty nice. But now let me show you the car's infotainment system and talk about the car's tech. So now let me show you the car's infotainment system. So let's turn the car on. Foot on the brake, the start button is located here. Press that and the car turns on. The infotainment system of the Mazda CX-90 isn't touchscreen. You have to control with this civil wheel button. That's the warning for the seat belts. It's going to go away in a bit. The car has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, so it's pretty usable, but it's not touchscreen like I mentioned. So one big thing is in cars here, you need a big screen for looking at the navigation because it's pretty hard to drive without a big screen. So if you want to control other stuff, first of all, you can obviously have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on, like you can see here. So you can have all of your apps. If you want to go to Google Maps, you can use it. It's very big. You can search whatever you want to. It's pretty easy to use and it's pretty nice. And this car does have a heads-up display too. I just wanted to let you guys know. But if I go to home and if I go to the cars menu, because I already showed you the Apple CarPlay, if I press Mazda, we can go to the car's main display. So if you go on settings, the car has different type of settings for the in-vehicle displays. So you can change that. You can active in-vehicle displays. That means the heads-up display. So you can control the height of the heads-up display. So if I want higher, I could get it up a little higher. I do actually want it higher. If I want to control the brightness, I can do that too. I'm just showing you from here, and then I can tilt it and other stuff. I can turn it on. I can have the whatever information I want, and I can also do factory reset on them. This is for the center display, so I can control the brightness of the central display from here too, and then I can control all of the different stuff from here. And it's pretty easy to control it from this. And there's something called the ambient display blank, or you can have a clock when the car is completely off and you're just chilling. So that display. And you can also control the instrument cluster, that is half digital, half analog. So you can have it at type 1, type 2, or type 3. So type 2 can also be changed, type 1 can also be changed, so it's not a big deal, to be honest. But it's nice that you can configure everything, right? So if you go out of this, you can control the sounds settings, the safety, vehicle settings, and you can control all of the connectivity settings and the system settings. So now let's go back to home, where you can control the navigation. Navigation won't work until they put the SD card in. So the SD card is not in yet because this is a demo vehicle. Communication could be done when your phone's connected to Bluetooth. And you have entertainment for Bluetooth and information. It's pretty nice, pretty cool, and you can always have Apple CarPlay on. I mean, everyone uses Apple CarPlay in this generation, so no one uses their normal screens and stuff. So that's nice. You have the hazard slide button here, you have the 2 AC vents button here, and then you have the climate control. Heating steering wheel, heating seats, ventilating seat, front and rear windshield heaters. You can turn on the climate from here. This is for the wind speed. And this is for where you want the air and outside air coming inside, and rear climate on or off, and this is for changing the temperatures. So you have to press this button or this button, or you can just have it on sync, and then whichever you change, it's going to do it for both. Kind of cool, not bad. Then if you come up, you have a auto-dimmed rear view mirror with your garage openers integrated here. You have a little sunglass holder here, velveted inside. Pretty cool. And you have light placements too. You have reading lights and your normal lights. Now let's come to the car's steering. Steering is fully leather strapped. It's a bit small for the car, I think, but it is manually tilt and telescopic. That is a bit weird. I don't know why. It's a very expensive car. Why it doesn't have manual tilt and telescopic steering? But you have the hazards and the high beam here, and then you have the windshield wiper controls here. You have the cruise control and lane keeping assist buttons here, and this is for all of your infotainment and other stuff controllers. Pretty good looking, pretty nice. I wouldn't mind having this car as a daily, but it's a little too big. But the Bose sound system is lovely. Now let me show you the car's instrument cluster. Foot on the brake, pressing the start button. That's going to turn the car's instrument cluster on. The instrument cluster, the center dial is digital, except that everything is analog. You have the RPM here that redlines in 6,500. You have the center screen that shows you the top speed of 260. This is your battery voltage, that's your fuel gauge, and it's showing the amount of fuel it has. It can go to 450 kilometers. It's showing the outside temperature and the car's mileage. And then over this side, you have the car's fuel gauge again with the car's engine temperature. You can customize this display a bit from the infotainment. So if I just do that, I can go to in-vehicle displays, and then I can change the instrument cluster. So the center digital part can be changed a bit. So this is for type 1. You can change it into type 2, or you can turn it to off. I'm going to leave it to type 2 for the segment because this is the most cleanest looking instrument cluster I've seen, being honest. For the drive modes, you can change it from here. So you have off-road, normal, and you have sport. And the biggest part is you have automatic transmission with paddle shifters, so that should be fun. When you put it on sport, it turns a bit red, so that's nice. But now let me show you the car's heads-up display, because the heads-up display is pretty simple. It just shows you the speed, and if the SD card was inside, it would have shown you the car's navigation system. But now let me show you the car's door. So this is your AC vent. Then you have your all of the safety systems off and on, parking sensors, you have your TCS, your auto start stop, this for opening the boot, the memory seats, dead pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal. You have the seat controls here, completely powered. You have another airbag here. Now let's come to the door. You have the Bose sound system like I mentioned. Then you have the nice looking trim all around with the grab handle with the window and exterior mirror controls, memory seats, and then you have the door handle. Overall, pretty good looking storage there. This is there so as the test drive car, so no one scratches it. So it's pretty nice to review this car, and I would say it's a pretty good looking car if you want to buy it. The price is going to be in the description. If you're not connected to my social medias, I'm going to let you know. Everything's in the description if you want to be. Thanks to Prima Mazda for providing this car to me, and very thanks to Art for arranging this car for me. This was the flagship. This is the pretty much same, so there's no point to make another video for that. If you want to watch the other vehicles like the 30 or the 50, that's the other two SUVs, let me know in the comment sections. Until then, stay safe, stay home. I'll see you next time. Peace.